Thank you for watching. This is the Gates Family Rabbitry, and we're going to talk about rabbit compost and a few other little things that I wanted to touch upon. As you see, we moved these two into this cage. These were from S'mores litter. We're going to keep these two does. This is Dusk, is the gray one, and Mrs. Mustache, or Cookies and Cream. We can't decide which name, but I just call her Mrs. Mustache. And so we got these two here for now together, but they're going to need their own cages, and I'm out of room. So I'm going to build another hutch, 3-cage hutch like this, and I'm going to do a video on that. But I also, if you watched the last video, we moved the white California looking babies from S'mores' cage to the shorter cage next to her, which was Twister's cage. And Twister was in here in the tractor. And I put Twister back home and put the 4 little ones inside this one and give them some room to run around so they're not just cooped up. And I actually plan to build at least 2 more of these tractors. So I will do a video on that too. It's very basic. I mean, I don't draw up any plans. You're just making a box. And same with the hutches. I've built 2 and they're not identical, and I just winged it. So if you have half of knowledge how to use a drill and a saw, you can do this. It's not hard. There's some plans. Other channels have plans of their hutch, and you can follow that plan. But you know, it doesn't have to be super fancy as long as it keeps them in. But I had this crate. I'll show you this real quick. I had this crate here, and I just cut a half a moon out of the side. Here's the piece. Well, that's part of it. It was 2 boards. That's the top. So I cut a half moon out. See, I'm poking out right now. And then it gives these guys a little hide box. And Twister was a little too big. It did look like he went in, but he didn't really care to hang out in there. But these guys seem to like it, so you can make these hide boxes really easy. Basically just make a box with no floor and cut a semicircle out of it. But then also I moved the tractor today, and it was this way, and you can see I got a pretty huge pile of straw and compost here. So what would you do with that? Garden, first of all. I got a garden over there, and I took so much, see if you can see under these guys, just from these 3 I had a lot. And you can see under this one the hay builds up. It does build up, and some people sift this out and sift all the straw and stuff out, and I just threw it all right in the garden. I figured the hay will decompose as well, so it all becomes compost eventually. If you don't have a garden, you can sell it. You could sift it and put it into 5-gallon buckets, and people actually will buy it. You just got to find the right buyers. People who know, what it can do for gardens would buy it off you. So that's an option, or you just throw it over the hill if you don't have the means, or you're not growing, and it's just just waste to you. But if you've gone far enough to breed rabbits, you probably, I would assume, are into gardening as well, or at least something along those lines. But so that shovel full there, I'll just take over there and just toss it into the berry patch. And if you have dogs, you're not going to want to leave that in the yard. I left that shovel sitting there, let the dogs out, and they went right to it like it was a bowl of food. So if your dogs are not too bright, like mine seem to be, and want to eat rabbit poop more than their own food, you want to clean this up. If you don't care, let them eat it. They'll clean it for you. But so that's about it. I just wanted to touch on that with the compost. It has a lot of good value as far as gardening, and then like I said, people will buy it. You just have to find the buyers, but it's up to you, I guess. It's personal preference whether you want to sort all that hay out, take the time and sift it. If you're going to make a sifter, I would do the 1/2 inch by 1 inch square, or more like a rectangle. The squares don't seem to, it doesn't all fall through. Like I said in the other video, what is that? 1/4 inch by 1/4, or maybe it is 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch squares. So those, it works good for the babies and the smaller ones, but once they get bigger, it doesn't seem to fall through as good. So I've started using 1/2 inch by 1 inch for floors, and you can go bigger on the sides. I'll show you this. I just kind of threw these together, this one together. But see, since he was an adult, I was able to do the bigger rectangle. That was the last piece I had. It actually took me 1 whole roll to make this cage of 1/2 inch by inch, and I still didn't have enough. So I went with that on the front, because I knew if you have babies though, for a mama cage, obviously you don't want to do this because they'll jump right through the front. And then I did this one, and I did 1/2 inch by inch floor, and then I went with these bigger ones, whatever that 1 inch by 2 inch for the sides. For the front, well, I just did the front, and then the sides are inch by inch. So actually it's top and bottom, inch by 1/2 inch, sides inch by inch, and then front inch by 2 inch. But you can do that however you want. I just have like all the different sizes because, like I said, you want something, you don't want them to have trouble walking on it, but you want all the droppings to fall through. And you can, these you'll pay the same, I feel like, either way, whether you buy a pre-made cage or buy a roll and make it yourself. It's all priced about the same. It depends where you get it too, but if you make your own, you're going to need one of these guys. These are J-clip pliers, and then you just get these little metal J's, and that's so you can hook your walls and stuff together for cage building. Cheap little setup they sell at Tractor Supply. And so that's it. Oh, one more thing, I did make some latches today. I found a video on, I just had this bungeed shut. So if you can see that latch there, you just go down and over, and then you want to come out towards yourself, right, then back in and make your hook. And then I just push that guy in, and boom, opens up. And I just used a spare piece of wiring that I had left over from making cages. I still have a piece here. No, I must have moved it. Oh, wait, here. Something like that. This piece is a little too short, but you just cut off them top pieces. And like, I mean, this one's a little more crude. I did this one after I came out here, but it works. So a little easy, because that's your biggest hurdle really, is making a clasp after you build these cages. I had this door, I don't know if I showed you before, I had it on the inside going up to the ceiling, and I didn't like that because every time I'd push it up, they would sneak by it and be right here in front of it, so I'd have to push them back to get the door shut. So I just made it open out like the rest of them. But that's it. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.